Can we just talk about how this was a huge leak and that neither Swatch or Omega have planned that this would go down this way? Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and this video is going out on a very short notice because something major happened. Yesterday, images of an Omega X Swatch collection leaked and now the watch world is all up in arms about this new release, so you know what, let's talk about it. First, let me tell you that I'm still in a bit of a shock on how all of this happened. It started with some, leaked images of, I think, the mission to Mars and the mission to the Sun watches, and then just boom. During dinner time here in Germany, everything blew up and Swatch updated their website to reveal the entire collection. And immediately people started to go live. The watch groups on Facebook went crazy and I could read all kinds of reactions to this. There were people who were absolutely hyped about this, but just as many saying how this is completely ruining Omega and the Speedmaster for them. Like, people were going berserk on this. So in this video, I would say we are first going to look at the what is situation and see what the watches are about. And then we are going to check out what the watch community is saying about all of this. Oh, and a shout out to Times and Tide, Adrian from Bark and Jack and Watch Gringer and a couple of others for being so lightning fast with their content. That was amazing. And if you want to watch a more in-depth journalistic approach to this, I recommend checking out the Time and Tides video because they covered some really cool details, and I will link it for you in the description bar down below. Right, so this is it. We got 11 different watches, each of them dedicated to a specific planet. And yes, they did include Pluto, who got demoted a couple of years ago. So big whoop whoop for Pluto being included again. They are all a 42mm in diameter, water resistant up to 3 bar. So yeah, no difference to the original Speedmaster. The case is the classic Speedy case with the twister lugs, and I guess the same lug to lug of 47mm. I couldn't find info about that online. The strap is a fabric Velcro strap, and the case itself is made from bioceramic. It's something unique to Swatch as it's a blend of ceramic and bio-sourced plastic, according to Swatch. Inside is a Swatch quartz chrono movement, so you have a ticking second, and instead of having the iconic the little Omega symbol engraved in the middle of the crystal, there is a little S for Swatch. What's also interesting to note is that they have included the .over90 on the tachymeter scale, and if you flip the swatches around, you get a solid case back with the according planet as an image on top, like a little bubble right there. Oh yeah, and those images are apparently photos from NASA, so yay for photorealism. They will be sold for $260 and I think it's 250 euros and are available only in selected Swatch stores, and you're only allowed to buy 2 at a time per person. The first planet or color scheme is the Mission to the Sun, which is this bright yellow watch with white subdials and a matching tachymeter scale and Velcro strap. Apparently, this is also Mr. Hayek's, the CEO of the Swatch Group's, favorite, according to Time and Tide. Then there's the Mission to Mercury, which I think has the potential to become a great hit since it is very, classic. It has this Speedy-esque color scheme with its black dial and bezel. There's also a blush pink MoonSwatch that stands for the Mission to Venus. Haha, get it, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, so this has to be pink, obviously, but yeah, it looks really lovely. It even has this two-tone detail on the bezel, and I'm just not sure what these little circles around the subdials are supposed to be. Looks extremely weird to me. Anyways, next up we have the Mission to Earth, the pastel sort of minty green with a red chromo hand and these sort of off-white subdials and what looks like a navy case, like a very dark blue. It feels very old school to me in terms of color, but not in a bad way necessarily. The actual Speedy in this lineup, so the Mission to the Moon Speedmaster Swatch, looks almost like the Mission to Mercury and very much like a Speedmaster, so yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory on this one. I'm also guessing that this is very likely going to be the absolute top seller in this entire collection, very closely followed by the Mission to Mars, because this one is a red and white color bomb with those rocket-like hands for 2 of the subdials and the very bright red case. I could totally see this being the perfect gift for anyone in the medical field, to be honest. The next one is the Mission to Jupiter, and it's beige. It's really all I can say about that. The mission to Saturn has to be my least favorite though, because of that silly Saturn ring on the subdial. Thanks to these like contrasting brown subdials on top, I can't help but feel like the clown face is staring at me and the 6 o'clock subdial is its mouth. So yeah, I will have to pass on this one. And wow, what can I say? Uranus is beautiful. Uranus is bright. Uranus would look lovely on my wrist. It's a happy baby blue with white highlights, and I really love this one. Uranus is stunning. And we've got 2 more left, with the mission to Neptune being the next. A very blue watch too, but this time much darker, but with the same crisp feel as Uranus. And last but not least, there is the mission to Pluto in this, and what Swatch describes as gray and burgundy colorway. But what I see here is more as like a beige or like an eggshell color, to be honest. I don't really see the gray. Yeah, those are all the 11 different watches of this collection. Like I said, people went and still are going completely berserk over this. And now that we know what they are about, let's talk about what the watch community thinks about them, because that's where it gets really interesting. So I posted the collection to my Instagram story yesterday, and a bit over like 60% liked the release, but there were also lots of people who were still unsure about it, and also some who really dislike this. And that's what we can see in other places too. The YouTube comments are mostly positive, I would say. A lot of people seem to be very happy about the fact that the pricing is fair, with it being $260, like I said, for each watch. And then we have the big pro of them not being a limited edition, so that's great. I think there was this one comment that got quite a lot of upvotes, saying that this is a huge step towards democratizing luxury watches and making them more accessible in general. So basically making it now possible for more people than ever before to get their very own Speedmaster. The colors and the choice that comes with it is obviously a big hit with people too. And I've seen lots of comments talking about how they think this or that color is the coolest or their favorite release in forever, which was nice. I also noticed that lots of people welcome the collaboration between 2 major watch brands like Omega and Swatch. And I mean, yeah, though it is still shocking to see these 2 team up, it isn't as surprising after all, since, I mean, they both belong to the Swatch group. And I guess if the group decides something, the brands just have to follow either way. Because apparently, and here comes the tea, according to Time and Tide, the head historian at Omega was initially very much against it, which is why I also want to highlight the other side of the comments, because there's also quite the backlash, and some diehard Omega Speedmaster fans are really disappointed and even angry, because they argue that this is not only diluting Omega's brand image, but also defiling, I hate that word, the iconic Speedmaster by having it made from plastic and, you know, quartz, and it going for $260 a pop. So yeah, I've also seen lots and lots of comments about the sizing and the strap, and I do have to agree here. Though the 42mm are standard, I wish they would have released this in a Speedy reduced or like a 38mm size so more people could enjoy it. Not saying that you cannot wear it with small wrists. I mean, you can wear whatever you like, but I still feel outsized by this release. The other thing is the color of the Velcro strap on some pieces. The white strap could very easily be one of those straps that stain super quickly, and that's just a big bummer, you know. And then there's the water resistance of only 3 bar, but yeah, that's the case with the regular Speedmasters too, so another bummer right here, but nothing too surprisingly. And, you know, I just think it would have been cool to wear a Speedy that was actually waterproof, because I think this would or could have made this watch into this like ultimate summer watch. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess, and that really sums it up. Lots of opinions and voices out there, but I would very hesitantly say that the reception of this release has been largely a positive one. And I think Adrian from Bark & Jack put it very nicely when he said that from a consumer standpoint, this is a huge win. This will sell like crazy. But in terms of branding, I'm not sure how this will impact Omega's image in the long run, to be honest. To me, this is a very interesting release, and I also think a very successful one too. The color options are great, and there really is something for everybody out there. I also like that they are not all exactly the same, you know, besides the colors, but that they added little details to each watch, like, you know, the photo on the case back, or just, you know, the overall details on the dial. I'm also very relieved about the pricing, because when the first photo started to leak, I was super worried that they're going to do something super crazy with the prices, you know, like 1,500 or something like this. So yeah, that's a big thumbs up for me. But on the other side, I'm also a bit skeptical how this is going to affect Omega, or more specifically the Speedmaster in the long run. I think it would have been even cooler if they let out the mission to the moon, so that, you know, Speedmaster Moonwatch could remain Omega's thing and the other planets would be Swatch's addition to it. I'm also unsure about the Velcro strap myself. Now that I've seen some real life footage, I'm really hoping that it doesn't feel how it looks, because it seems rather stiff and very plasticky. I don't know, I'm not sure about this. There's also the democratizing luxury watches, or the accessibility thing I want to touch on, because yes, it is great that they are not limiting this release, and that the price is totally okay with it being $260, and limiting it to 2 watches per person is reasonable, so you don't have like people bulk buying entire store inventories to flip. But what Swatch and Omega are doing here is still not making them accessible to everyone. This is not a Speedmaster for everyone. This is a Speedmaster for those who live close to a very specific Swatch store, or those who are willing to travel for it. And so if you're not, well, then you have to rely on the secondary market, and oh boy, I am not sure how this is going to turn out. So yeah, kind of a weird move it seems. Like, why not make it available online? If this isn't limited, why limited, I guess? Anyways, I think I will definitely get one. Still haven't decided on the color though. Perhaps the Venus or the Uranus. We'll have to see about that. But hey, what do you guys think? Is this perhaps the biggest mistake Omega has ever made? Or is this possibly the first chapter of something really special? Would you like to see more of these kinds of collaborations between brands? And which of them is your favorite color? I am very curious to see what you guys think. So give me your take in the comment section down below. And yeah, we'll see how this goes from here. And that is all I have for you today. As always, thank you so much for watching. And if you have enjoyed this video, you can give this a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, I recommend subscribing to my channel. And yeah, like I said, this was on very short notice. I couldn't film in my usual setup, so this is my streaming setup, if you're just wondering. I'm excited. We'll see how it all goes from here, and I can't wait to get my hands on one. And that is it. Have a great day. Bye!